Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about chapter 6. So here I am in his depth again. First of all, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever received a gift and felt that you should give something in return? So reflect upon this question and then I want to read your answers. Why have I asked you that question? Because Katniss doesn't believe in a gift freely given. It doesn't matter whether it's a loaf of bread or just plain loyalty. It's amazing how many times throughout the book she uses the word "owe" and how guilty she feels if she can't discharge her debts. So now I want to show you this quote from the book that says, I feel like I owe him something, and I hate owing people. Maybe if I had thanked him at some point, I'd be feeling less conflicted now. Here we can see reflected how Katniss can never accept a gift without assuming that there are strings attached. Now just think about it. Why does she see strings attached to every gift when even when no one else does? Okay, so now to understand why Katniss believes that invisible strings are attached to every gift, we are going to analyze it from the point of view of Marcel Mauss, who was a philosopher and anthropologist who offered the analysis of gift giving in the 20th century. According to him, gifting was a state of mind in those communities, that everything is there for passing on and for balancing accounts. For example, in Middle Ages, when the king presents his subjects with gifts, their reciprocity comes in the form of service. By accepting a sword from the king, his subjects agree to use that sword to defend the king and his territory. The exchange of gifts consolidates the social bonds, the invisible strings that tie individuals to one another and hold a community together. Modern societies, however, depend on currency to circulate commodities, making the role of gifts less prominent and less formality. So here we can find a binary opposition between old society and modern society. Life in Panem isn't familiar to archaic cultures studied by Mauss, but Katniss must have incorporated that thought about gifts. Talking about the quote that I have mentioned before, Mauss could say that Katniss feels in debt because she thinks that a gift is received with a burden attached. Lewis Hyde, who extends the work of Mauss, says that even a private gift creates bonds between people. So going back to Peeta's gift of bread, here I will show you a quote where he says, "The bread? What? From when we were kids? I think we can let that go. I mean, you just brought me back from the dead." But Katniss feels that his gift hasn't been repaired, so she says, "But you didn't know me. We had never even spoken. Besides, it's the first gift that's always the hardest to pay back." Now I will ask you a question. Can you think of another example when Katniss receives a gift and she thinks that she needs to return it back? Katniss finds another tribute from District 11 who sees the world in the same way. Who? Fresh. On hearing of Katniss' dental treatment of Rue and how Katniss sang the little girl to her final sleep, Trish spares her life. He says, "Just this one time I let you go. For the little girl. You and me, we are even then. No more owed. You understand?" And she nods and reflects. "I do understand about owing, about hating it." Yes. Here we can observe that she repeats about her hate all the time, and it is something that Peter can't understand because he doesn't have the same ideology. I have mentioned that exchange of gifts creates bonds, but discharging debts through cash payments often has the opposite effect. For example, keeping people at a distance from each other. We all know that money is delicate. I have heard a phrase that says, "Money does not give us friends, but better quality enemies." I think it's ladies. What do you think? Now I'm going to talk about the gift of loyalty. Even in a military setting, a cycle of gifting can be observed. Mauss says that loyalty can be a gift. Pledges and oaths make the expectation of loyalty concrete, and uniforms and weapons can serve as tokens of that pledge. That is to say, reciprocity can come in intangible forms and can create bonds. Talking about promises, I can think of an example when Katniss gives Prim a mockingjay as a promise that nothing bad will happen to her if she keeps that. Mauss notes that in some societies, some gifts couldn't have any value. What is important is the moment when the bond is forged. For example, when Peter is lying in the riverbank because he has his leg hurt, and Katniss tries to find the solution to cure him. Can you think of another example when an act of love as a gift is reflected? I am about to finish because I will mention the last topic, which is the gift of memory. The function of this gift is to keep alive the memory of someone who has changed us in some way or has done something for us. This chapter gives an example of the second MOOC. So an example that comes to my mind from the first one could be the Ruth's death, because when she dies, Katniss suffers a lot, but at the same time, that situation makes her stronger to continue in the Hunger Games. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed my presentation and see you. Goodbye.